It's high time for grade 11 students. These days we are talking about the 15th lesson, the biosphere. Basically, the last chapter we are talking about the man and the environment chapter. So far, we discussed around 49 questions related to that. Today's plan is to cover a 50 to 76 question. Okay, first theme is eutrophication. What is eutrophication? It occurs in water bodies. This water body has clear water, it's rich in oxygen, and plants and animals live leisurely in this one. It's a natural or the nice water body. Then the human effect or the mankind, how does his activity affect on this? Number one, first thing, nutrients will load up in the water body due to several reasons. One is due to the agriculture. When agrochemicals and or industrial waste or maybe detergent powder, they will add nitrate ions or phosphate ions to this water body, and these nitrates and phosphates will collect or the loads up in the water body. They act as nutrients to the plants. Therefore, the next stage is plant flourishes or plant growth increases, and therefore number of organisms or the plant depending animals also increase. But the third stage is then algae start to blooms. Algae act as a carpet above the water and prevent entrance of light. Also, it cut off the contact with the atmosphere. Therefore, oxygen rate drops down, light amount drops down, the environment becomes dark. So gradually it converts to not suitable place for the living beings. Then anaerobic conditions develop. Anaerobic condition means conditions lack of oxygen. Due to that, animals die, and the deep water plants will die. So this water body become a contaminated water body, and its beauty will loss or the reduce. And look at the example. This picture shows that, and it looks very ugly actually, and the water body, it can't, even animal or human being can't consume this water. This is the eutrophication. And there is another example. Look at this one here, the dead organisms, they don't have enough oxygen to live on. That's why they are dying here. So eutrophication is a result of the human effects, several effects. These are the questions. First question, 50th one. What is the condition where the green colored forming layer occur over the water bodies? That is eutrophication. What is the cause for the above condition? Increase of phosphate and nitrate concentration. And also it's due to these industries, agrochemicals, fecal matter and detergents. This ones the fertilizer condition can increase due to this. 52. How does green colored forming layer affect the quality of water and life in water? It will reduce the transparency of water. Also unable to utilize water, drink or to washing purposes, you can't use this water. Next one, reduction of biodiversity. And these are the side effects of the eutrophication. Let's move on to the next one, indirect effects of environmental pollution. Direct effect we discussed, acid rains, global warming, greenhouse effect or such things. Number of direct effects we discussed, and also environment, loss of biodiversity. And look at these pictures, and environment has gone very ugly here. In these pictures you can see the water pollution, land pollution as well as air pollution. And due to the pollution there are number of side effects or the indirect effects come. uh, they are just summarized as this. Look at the question. Let's discuss with the question here. Write 5 indirect effects of the environmental pollution. First one, loss of habitats of organisms, and it is due to the contamination of the land, air or water. Next, desertification, especially due to the improper agriculture this occurs. Reduction of the plant yield. This occurs due to the change of climatic patterns. Erosion of ruins, statues and buildings as a result of acid rains. This happen. Degradation of the natural limestones also occur due to the acid rains. And the next thing, the spread of diseases. It can occur due to the direct pollutions and reduction of biodiversity. We discussed just before that fact also occur due to the as a side effect of the indirect effect. And economical losses. This occurs only to the man. Man is the cause for all these things, and it bounces back to the man as the economical losses. And introduction of the invasive species. Some new species or invasive species can introduce. Recently, that viral attacks comes due to the pollution or comes due to the change of this earth. Right. Now, industrialization. Industry 1.0, I mean, this is at the beginning. Industries just started like that. Mechanication and also steam power or the weaving loom machines came. It's the basic level. Around 200, 300 years ago, this was started. With the Industrial Revolution, this was started. And why do we need industries? We need industries to make easy our lives. Industries produces new inventions or new goods. They just ease our works. That's one fact. Other one is as the human population increases to supply the needs for them, industrially it should be produced. There are many reasons for these industries. Number one is the development of science. Learning, teaching science and thinking differently comes under that. When you think and invent new things, it will cause to an industry. So advancement of technology improves or just helpful to the growth of the industrialization. Let's go to the 2.0 with what happened. Mass production and assembly lines, electrical energy used as the second stage. Mass production occurs to supply the food or the goods needed for the the pollution, higher populations. Industry 3.0, in that one, automation came and computers and electronics, robots came and automatically it produces. Nowadays, the mass production or the huge number of products comes with this automation process, and the involvement of the human or the manpower is reduced with this. And industry 4.0, now we are at this stage. Cyber physical systems, internet things, networks and online uh, transfer of good and the ordering and the e-selling or the electronic paying e-money or such things came now. Now industry is at this stage here, and day by day this is getting advanced. And also people think their lives getting more easy and easy, but as a result of industrialization our lives have become complicated. And nowadays there is a place, we have come to a place where we can't live without electricity. It's due to the industrialization, because some number of products that we use nowadays need electricity. So what are the bad effects? Let's talk about this. What are the reasons for industrialization? I said that advancement of science and technology and new invention, large scale productions, mass productions. 55. How does industrialization affect nature? Number of ways. Number one, it causes global warming, deforestation, change of climate, pollution, and we can write a long list under this. 56. How does industrialization badly affect human life? Number one, industrialization causes this thing: spreading diseases, birth of disabled babies, and unexpected deaths, and reduction of the lifespan, and also unexpected spread of the viruses or kind of germs, or such bad effects can come. So these are the questions. Then let's move on to the urbanization, the next chapter. Look at this picture. This is from China, or kind of same picture taken in 1980 and 2011. Now this is the same area, same aerial view, but this has been completely changed. So now the environment, natural environment, have completed to kind of artificial one completely. This is the urbanization, and this is another example. 1964, I think it is in Canada or somewhere, and now this is in here. So look at the difference of that environment. It's completely changed. Only thing that waterway is remaining here. The waterway is still was there in 1964. Still it is here. And why do we need to urbanize? So why people gathering around the cities? There are many reasons. Number one, for occupations, jobs, and to work in the industries. And also in Sri Lanka, it's mainly occurred due to the education. People gather to area which has more facilities. If the facilities are equally distributed, we can minimize or reduce this urbanization. Questions. First question: why two reasons for migrating people to urban area? Number one, migration of to the urban areas, and the reasons: unequal distribution of resources and facilities. Those are the two reasons here. And how does urbanization cause energy wastage? Increase the fuel burning. As the number of vehicles increase or number of industries increase, this happens. And traffic jams and wastage of time. Because the people, once everyone buy vehicle, then the number of vehicles on the roads increase. It causes traffic jams, then energy wastage and time wastage will occur. Then next theme is the commercial agriculture. Agriculture is an environmental blended thing. People did it around 11,000 years ago. They started the agriculture, but nowadays the agriculture has turned an industrialization process really. And look at the agriculture, modern agriculture. So if you see this one, this land has been cleared up from a thick forest here, and cutting down forest and growing single crop sometimes. And number of food chains here, they have been destroyed by the man. And this is the commercial agriculture. Machinery works, no people working in that. To clear up such land, there should be thousands of people participate, but there you can see only one machine here. So this is the commercial agriculture. Look at this one, growing the crops in an artificial environment completely, and it is placed on the earth, but it looks like growing plants in an alien condition. So these are the ways that we comes to this agriculture or commercial agriculture. There are a number of bad effects of them. Let's talk about them. Why do farmers tend to commercial farming? Give two reasons. You can give many reasons. Number one, increase the demand of population. Then therefore by that home gardening or cultivating in the village, you can't supply the food need for the people living in urban area. Second one, due to the complexity of modern food styles, and with the new inventions, now people tend to use or they eat different types of food. Third one, to get more harvest in quick time. When the demand increase to get harvest quickly, we will go to the commercial farming. How do commercial farming affect the soil badly? Number of ways. Number one, it decreases the fertility of the soil. Number one, and it causes soil erosion. As the lands are cleared up, soil erosion can cause. What are the side effects of large scale irrigation systems? Irrigation also comes with the commercial farming, and main one is disorders in the water cycle. Rain pattern also can change. Due to changing of that, overflowing rivers can occur. Sometimes climate can change due to the large scale irrigation systems, just like building new lakes or new reservoirs. This can occur. How can the adverse effect of higher population could be controlled? And this is about the population and how to control that one, right? Three ways to control the adverse effects of population, higher population. There are many ways we can discuss them. Controlling the birth rate, then the population. When we control the birth rate, population can be decreased, therefore adverse effects can be decreased. Using alternate energies to minimize the pollution, and always trying to use alternate energies or the environmental friendly energies like solar energy, wind energy or such ones to decrease the adverse effects. Next one, constructing well planned cities. Now we have cities which are built without a plan. Again, we can convert them to a planned city. Then some countries like Switzerland or maybe the Norway, they are using such ones, planned cities. Supplying health facilities and maintaining regular services. For the people who are living in urban area, we must supply clear water facility, ventilation facilities, or such infrastructure facilities as well. Aware society, very important thing, and education and implementing rules and laws. There should be the strictly maintaining rules and laws, and people should aware and they should act intelligently. Wisely they have to work to decrease the adverse effects. So let's move on to the next. This is CKD, chronic kidney disease. And chronic kidney disease, disorder in the kidney, is affected by these causes. These are the causes: diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems, obesity, family history. And these four we consider as the huge non-contagious or non-infectious diseases. And sometimes the family history also can cause to this. Tobacco use, and this is another factor, the kind of bad habit. And 60 plus years old and aging also can lead to the CKD problem. It comes in several stages. Basic stage is the normal stage. If this is not severe, we can cure it with medications. Second stage, increase in the risk. In that case, sometimes we should have kind of special treatments, and with the doctor's advice we have to control, limit the food consumption or some liquid or the liquor consumption. You have to limit with this stage. Next one, kidney damaging. Once the kidney damage, it doesn't repair itself, therefore permanent damage can take place. Next one, reduce the kidney function. Damage leads to reduce or the section of kidney will malfunction. And finally, it will lead to the complete kidney failure. Once a kidney is failed, the only option is replanting it. If both the kidneys are failed here, there are only two options. One option is you have to seek a kidney and replant. The other option is giving up the life. So this is the threat. Actually, all around the world, this is a huge threat. In some countries, around 25% of people are threatened with the CKD. Right, move on to the next questions and answers. What does CKD stand for? Chronic kidney disease. How it is called permanent failure of kidneys? It's called chronic renal failure. That's the complete failure of the kidney. And what are the symptoms of CKD? There are many. Urinary urgency. Always it seems the need to go to the bathroom, and little or no urine output, and pain in the back, and swelling of feet and ankle. Pain in the back, some people misunderstand this as a muscle pain. Actually, the pain comes from the kidneys. Kidneys placed are nearby the backside, also the lower abdominal chamber. Therefore, the pain comes in the back. It may not be a muscle pain. It can be the pain comes inside from the kidneys. Swelling feet and ankles, and urine contain protein, and creatinine test is normally conducted to check that one. And rashes on palm and soles, and it's due to the remaining or the gathering of or accumulating of the waste matters in body. These things can occur. Right. The next thing, several other questions. State the harmful substances cause CKD. Toxic elements, agrochemicals, heavy metals, especially cadmium and arsenic. Water with fluorides. And in north central province of Sri Lanka, people mostly drink in such water with fluorides, and there is a risk of mixing of the agrochemicals with their water. Cadmium and arsenic comes through that. And liquor consumption, excessive drugs. Here drugs means medicines. If you take drugs without a prescription of doctors, it can lead to the CKD condition. Suggest simple ways that can follow to prevent CKD. Refraining from using food for which agrochemicals are used. Number one is that. And controlling diabetes and high blood pressure. This is the next condition. And drinking 3.5 to 4.5 liters or the 5-6 bottles of clean water. The best treatment cure is drinking water. Pure water can clean or heal these conditions nicely. Refrain from improper use of painkillers, drugs or medicines. Refrain from liquor consumption and smoking. If you lead a habit or the life with good habits, you can stay away from the CKD. It's easy because we need to drink pure water, and we have to refrain from some artificial things, mostly the agrochemicals or the excess use of medications. From CKD we will move on to NCDs. NCDs stand for non-contagious diseases, non-communicable diseases. And there are some diseases which are not passing from person to person, but the diseases can arise due to the bad habits of the life. And look at these pictures, you can guess what sort of things. Heart failures or heart disorders. It may be the obesity, high blood pressure, and uh, some effects also, some causes also shown here. Higher consumption of salt, and smoking or taking the medicines more, and age also shown here, also liquor consumption. And such bad life habits can lead NCDs, non-contagious diseases. These are very common among the people nowadays. Let's move on to this one here. Questions and answer. Write 5 non-contagious diseases that is common in the society at present. Diabetes, cancers, heart diseases, pulmonary diseases, or the diseases associated with the blood circulatory system, the respiratory system, and wheezing also associated with the respiratory system, and gastritis associated with the digestive system, cataracts, eye cataracts. And those are the question, or those are the non-contagious diseases that is common at the society present. Next theme, sustainable agricultural uses. From the problematic issues, now we are moving to the solutions. One option, sustainable, or the sustainability means the long-lasting agricultural uses. And in Sri Lanka, we had such systems. Now we have to go back to this one. This can be called as the green farming as well. And these are the qualities or the practices in green farming. Good practices. Number one, soil salinity management. That means the salt content or the pH value of the soil should be managed properly, and we should let the natural food chains or the natural systems to work on. Energy management, we can use, if there is an animal farm, from the waste of animal we can produce energy or use in the solar energy or such things for the farms. And likewise energy management, nutrients and soil fertility management, we can do that with the mixed cropping or the multiple cropping or such options. Integrated pest management, pest controlling should be eco-friendly, environmental friendly. And the pasture lands management, that means some areas should be kept as the barriers, or should be just keep as kind of environment, natural conditions here. Erosion management, soil erosion can be managed with the proper land management here. And fishery and the aquaculture management, water bodies should be protected. Wetland management, or these are very important as the sponges that absorbs the overflowing water. Irrigation management, managing the water, available water. Livestock management, when we hope to let the cattle to grow, they should be provided with the natural facilities. I mean that they should grow with the pure grass or maybe the pure food here. That's how we can gain a good harvest out of them. Post harvest or the loss management, once we cut off or the remove the crops, the post harvest should be re-added to the soil. And likewise we can go for the green gardening or green farming. Questions and answers. How it is called the growing many crops at once in a farm, that is the multiple cropping. How it is called the growing different type of crop over sequence of seasons and same area. It's called crop rotation. This is very important to maintain good fertility in the soil. Give three examples of biological pest controlling methods. Biological pest controlling. Famous one is chemical pest controlling. Now we have to go for biological pest controlling as an alternate. And in organic farming, we must do this one. Number one, birds feeding on insects. If there are harmful insects, we can let some birds to grow around. The birds who are insectivorous birds eat insects. Parasitic wasps to control aphids. There are some wasp types eating aphids. Bacteria feeding on larval stage of insects. Insects can be easily controlled when the larval stage is controlled. Then bacteria types, they are friendly bacteria types who destroy the larval stage of insects. These are the examples for the first pest controlling methods. Today's last topic is the wewa concept. It is the green farming technology or the traditional technology used in Sri Lanka. Now the whole world now have a kind of recap on this one. This is an eye-catching method of blending our farming with the nature. So I'll explain the special things of this wewa concept. This concept is trained in Sri Lanka, and especially it is very eco-friendly or environmental friendly method. Right, here's the wewa. This can be called as the tank, but the best term is wewa because this is not a normal tank, or this is, it seems artificial. It's an artificial one, but it has blend well with the nature. And there is a bunt here. This is the tank bunt, and it's called Kandi in Sri Lanka. There are two things here that called the tree belts or gasgomana. It protects the coldness of the water and the purity of the water. Also, it does not let water to evaporate easily. So water reserved for long time. And to collect water to the main wewa or the main tank, there are some sub tanks here. From the sub tanks, streams taken here. And the chain cultivations occur above that one, and chain cultivations also blending with the nature. Next, the farming and the village. Village is in one side, other side there is a shrub land. This land provides the wood needs of the farm of the villagers, and also medical needs, medicines or some needs will be provided by the shrubland here. Also is provide habitat for the animals, and the paddy cultivation is in between the shrubland and the village. And in the paddy cultivation also they have allocated certain area for the animal which is called kurulu, and it is allocated for the animals. And because these villagers they think that they have owned an area of all the living beings, therefore they reserve some of their crops or the harvest for the animals living in the jungle. So this is very nicely the matching example for the green farming, and this is a good example for the wewa concept is good example for the green farming or the traditional cultivation. Here are several things around about this green farming. First question: traditional tanks or the wewa is an eco-friendly, sustainable system. What is mean by eco-friendly? Eco-friendly producers or the products or the services are less harmful to the environment than other similar products or services. That is the one thing. What is the function of riprap or the ralapanawa of wewa? Ralapanawa, it cuts off or the prevent the waves coming from the water damaging the tank bund, or it prevents the erosion of the toe end of the tank bund. That is the function of the ralapanawa. 74. What is the sluice gate or sorrow? This is the gate which let the water to go out. Sliding gate or other device controlling the flow of water, especially in a water tank. There are some sluice gates which are famously found in our country, in Sri Lanka, which are made from stones. This sluice gate or the sorrow. And 75th. Explain the function of bisokotuwa. It is famous as one of greatest creations of Sri Lankan. It's seen in Sri Lankan lakes or the in Sri Lankan river. It's because especially the bisokotuwa, it's the pressure maintaining one to take water out with the less pressure level after releasing. Just I will explain that one. If this is the tank bund here, when water is taken through the tank bund, this side, if there is water in that side, water will flow through this one. Normally when sluice gate close this one or close here, that huge pressure can easily damage or will make cracks on the tank bund. To prevent that one, there is a pressure chamber they built. That pressure chamber is the bisokotum. When this is closed suddenly, then the water will rise up through the chamber and absorb the pressure. That's how it's work. And the last one, how did the weaver and its surrounding provide facilities to wild animals? I explained that when I am explaining uh, the concept here. There are kuluwe or the water catchment lakes that provide water for animals. Nearby the farmlands, there is an area called Kurulupalu, a dedicated farmland for the wild animals, which fulfills the food needs for animals. That's how this environment blends up with the, or that artificial environment blends up with the nature, and this is the green farming concept. So this is the end of 26th question and also end of the third video of this lesson. Also, if you gain something from this video, you can press the like button and subscribe our YouTube tube to get the new videos. Also, bell icon to get notifications. So goodbye everybody. We will meet back with the last 24 questions.